Howdy, this is Lee with 82 Gaming 12, and I'm back with video 18, I believe, of my playthrough of Eylau 1807. And this is a Battles of Napoleon series. This is volume 1, produced by Sound of Drums. And the designer of this series is Uwe Walentin. And Sound of Drums is in Switzerland. It's a smaller company, and I suggest that you go check them out. This is a very unique system, much different than other tactical Napoleonic games, and the real heart of the system is what we're looking at right here, which is the, see if I turn that off, there we go, which is the orders, the army fatigue, and then these activation cubes that you see. That is the genius of this game, in my opinion, are those three elements that's built into this system. Now there's going to be a few other things, little mechanics that are going to be different from other games, but then there's some similarities, of course. You're going to have similarities. If you're going to have a tactical Napoleonic war game, you're going to have similarities between the way the mechanics and the system works. So I think I've discussed a lot of this in other videos, but I really want to highlight that uniqueness of this game is the orders, okay, the activation cubes that go along with the orders, okay, and then the army fatigue and the way that's handled. You don't have morale markers to put on counters. That's all handled in this army fatigue and through the losses that units take and being removed from the map or having to be pulled back because they've taken so many losses. You don't want to risk losing fatigue cubes, which puts you closer to losing the battle. So you pull units back and give them an order that allows them to regain strength by rallying troops and increasing their numbers. However, a counter is never able to regain its full strength. Okay. They're always going to have, if they've taken losses, they're always going to have at least one loss marker with them. They're not able to go to full strength. So, and if you watch the other videos, a lot of this with the little details that are the same, and the main difference of the order system, activation cubes, and the army fatigue is clearly illustrated in the gameplay. Okay, and another thing is the rules are not lengthy, they're not wordy, they're pretty concise, and when you have that type of rule set, you know, you're going to have, just as an individual, you're going to have some times when you're like, well, does it mean this or does it mean that? And if you just work through it, you know, and think about it, then it makes sense. And, you know, they have a living rules. So there's been some changes, okay, in the living rules. Minor changes, nothing major. minor changes due to continual play and instances that arose that, you know, either were not brought to the attention or just overlooked in the playtesting. Okay, I was not involved in the playtesting. Okay, but if you've played any war game that has a series, the original rules are not exactly the same as, say, Volume 2, Volume 3, and so forth. Okay, and I could list game after game after game that has series rules, and there's been changes, and that's due to things that just didn't arise during playtesting, and later on players said, hey, how about this, what about this? And if you have a designer like Uwe that understands that, hey, you know, things need to be adjusted due to, you know, just maybe something that didn't come up, I guess, during playtesting or so forth. Then changes are made to improve the game and the game system. So I've already went through a lot of things where I had questions about this or that. But if you've watched from the beginning to the end, you might see that, well, okay, I've reasoned out that, okay, you know, I have all these rules running around through my head. So I'm trying to, like, sometimes when I'm looking at something, you know, I'm allowing some of those other rules to kind of come forward in my mind when I need to hold those back and just focus on the rules of this game. And so I have to work through, okay, what about this? What about that? You know, I'm questioning some things that, you know, I'm just doing that as a player, and I'm not doing as a critique of this game. You know, I'm just working through things because I'm trying to play the game as close to the rules as I can, and you know, I point out some things that, you know, I questioned about, but I mean, hey, as a gamer, you're going to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean you're right and the designer's wrong. It just means that, hey, you're seeing it this way, and you just need to step back and think about, okay, what is the purpose of the rule, and is there a specific reason why the designer designed it that way? And then think about it that way. And sometimes you come to say, oh, okay, hey, I understand this now. So I'm not going to talk about all of some of the changes, but that have been made so far. But that I think it's volume 1.4, I think. So, and is that going to be the final? Oh, probably not. I mean, like I've already said, look at La Bataille. You know, there's so many. Not only has the rules changed from the very beginning, okay, and altered, but how many different sets of rules are there, okay, that players use? Okay. Now, we don't need that in this game. We don't need 3 or 4 different sets of rules. We just need, you know, that one living rules, and that's all we need. And I like the fact that this is not, the rules are not complex, they're not wordy, and they're not lengthy. Okay, that's a plus. Okay, not a distraction, a decimate. It's not bad. It's actually good. And if you come across some things that you know, you could say, well, should I do this? Should I do that? You're playing the game. Make a decision and just do it. You know. So, in the last video, I had pulled a green cube, and I still have it on the map here. These big dice, okay, they're big, heavy dice that I use because my plexiglass, so you can see it move right there. And when I'm playing in a certain area, I like to remove them because I think they're distracting. One thing is, I wish I hadn't have put the plexiglass down, because the map, in my opinion, the map is so beautiful, and the plexiglass just doesn't allow the viewer to see clearly the map, because this is an old plexiglass, and so it you can see the kind of dingy color. Okay, this is what the map looks like over here, and I'm not really doing justice to Mr. Martial for his wonderful map by putting this dingy plexiglass down. So I apologize for that. It's got scratches in it. It's got just most of it's covered with kind of rub marks and so forth. I need to get I actually need to get 2 pieces that would fit over completely, not only to protect the map, but also to it's just easier for the map laying flat. So, and I believe they've got mounted boards, or they did through GameFound. I wish I would have ordered those, the mounted boards. I really do. And I don't know if those are going to be available to purchase now or in the near future. Hopefully they will. I'll have to look into that. So where do you look for that kind of information? Well, you go to Sound of Drums, soundoffdrumsgames.com. Go check them out, see what they got. And Sound of Drums, we develop and publish thrilling historic board games. Okay, and also we want to take a look at Chessex. This is just an example of a dice set that they have. And go to chessex.com, and you can find some dice there and other gaming supplies, and they have a few games too, so check those out. I bring that up because I was able to purchase these dice along with the game, and they're very good dice. They're rounded corners. I like that. And the other thing is, on the 6th side, they have these coat of arms. This is the Russian, this is the French. So, these go with the game, and they are Chessex dice. So, and if you've watched any of my videos, I use a lot of Chessex dice, and I'm actually going to give away these 3 sets. And I've talked about that before, but in the last video, I'm going to have a question dealing with something that was discussed or said in one of my videos of this game. Okay, not some other video. Okay, it's going to be from the Eylau 1807 playthrough videos. All right, so 13 minutes in, and I haven't even started getting going. That's something I need to do a better job of jumping right into. But sometimes you need to talk about stuff, and other times you just are talking about nonsense. At least to maybe some of y'all, it's not nonsense to me, but I understand that you're here to watch the playthrough, not watch me talk about other things. So maybe I need to have just a video where that's what I talk about. Okay, I just say, okay, I'm going to talk about just nonsense, and so okay. So Baggy here, who's been his forces have been involved in some heavy fighting throughout this, since the very beginning of the battle, has lost Sarah Paulin to Saint Hilaire, and it robbed the Russians of 5 fatigue points, or cubes. I say points, cubes, but you can say points because the black cubes are 10 fatigue points and the gray ones are 1. So he has possibly an opportunity here to cut off, or at least try to hit Klein's cavalry division here pretty hard. They've come in and performed some charges, and now they're tired, so they're vulnerable to cavalry charges. They're not going to be able to reaction charge. So let me move this over to Baggy's activation column. So Bagavot, or Bagavot. He's got all of these units here or 2 units, two squares here. He doesn't really want to get out of this square until these cavalry units here are neutralized. And so some of these, well, this unit is fresh, so it can countercharge. But and this unit's fresh. This unit here is not. So these 2 units here are not fresh. So he's got several cavalry units. He's got this very large one. Okay, 13 strength. Okay, way over here. Okay. That's like, that's over 500. What is it? 615. Yeah, 615 troopers, riders, horses, hussars. But he doesn't want to create a gap. You know, if he pulls some of these guys back, it's going to create a gap here. Okay, this unit here is left wing. It's actually part of the left wing. Von Paulin over here. This Cossack actually is part of the left wing. So, and this is left wing. But these 2 here are not. But in order, if he pulls these out, then he's got to fill this gap here with some infantry. Von Paulin needs to pull back. I need to pull Von Paulin back. He has orders to move. And I need to pull him back. But I'll go ahead and move Baggy first. The Russians only have after this activation, they only have 4 activations left. So I've got to be really stingy about where I'm going to do what. So let's go ahead here with Baggy. This is Lancers. Now Lancers, I do not want to use my Lancers against another cavalry unit. They are useful against infantry. So I'm going to actually pull them back and move them over to this other side over here, where if we pull back and Moran moves his infantry up, maybe I'll have an opportunity to charge with those lancers. So, having some difficulty with my light. So I'm gonna move him first to get him out of the way. So, and one of the new rules has to do with changing facing. So cavalry and infantry in column have a free change of facing before they move. Okay, it doesn't cost anything. So they're going to turn like that, and then they're going to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll go ahead and move up right there. 8. All right, so that's where they went. Okay. Okay, these hussars, these heavy. Yeah, hold on. Let me see what we have here. This guy's lost 4. Well, I think he's a match for this guy, but he's a lancer. He's a lancer too, so I want to get him out of the way. So we're going to move him also. So he turns 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he's going to turn like that. All right, so that's where they're at. Okay. This guy here has lost too much. I don't think he's going to be. Yeah, he's only got 1 left. So let's move him out of the way. He's going to turn 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn him back this way. Okay, so now this. All right, let's see what we got here. What have we got here? This guy's lost what? Okay. All right, so let's move this guy. I'm gonna turn 1, 2, 3, 4. He's gonna turn like that. Change formation. And let's see here. This guy here has lost 2. So is that guy. Well, what has he lost? So that's only 4. That's 4. Okay, so they are going to spend a movement with a line unit. Okay. Now this is the line unit. Okay, now under the new rules, they have a free facing change before they move of 60 degrees, which is 1 vertex. Okay, if they move more than 1 vertex, then it costs them a movement point. So they're going to use the movement point and turn. Okay, that cost them 1. Okay, then they're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then turn all the way back around at 4. Okay, so they're finished. And back he has an attack order, but what I'm doing here is I'm actually moving back instead of attacking. See, in the order with your orders, you're not hamstrung, and that you have to move forward or anything like that. The attack order just gives that commander, general of the division, the permission to move closer to the enemy and engage. Okay. You know, he's not like, okay, he's forced, he can't do anything else. But of course, it's costing them army fatigue points. So, you know, if you're not attacking, it's just you're kind of wasted. You're wasting things. Okay, so we're going to get out of this square. Okay, and he wants to go to column. And when you come out of a square, let's see. You may have to be in the formation you were in. Let's see what. Okay, let's see what it says here. Okay, so basically you're changing formation. You can change to either one, is my understanding. So you can just change to and any facing. So you don't have to go back to line. So you're changing formation, that costs 1. Okay, so so here we want to pull back and turn. Let's see, so that unit's going to be there. So we're going to go, so we've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as we're moving, okay, let me just show this. I can change one vertex with each move. So 1, 2, 3, okay. 4, and I changed to here, and then I'm changing the line right there. Okay. Okay, and then this unit here, let's see, I'm just going to, this unit's just going to turn. He's going to turn, I guess, that way. And this unit here, okay, it's going to come out of square into column, so that's cost 1, 2, 3, 4, and he changes. He's got a total of 6 there, so he's going to go to. He's going to turn and then change to line with this unit here. So they're just like that. All right. And these units are still under his command. So Baggy's going to move back 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. Well, he's actually, this unit here, he's going to have to move to there. That way you can reach everybody. Okay, now this unit here, not that unit. This unit here is going to turn and going to look to attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to here is 6, 7, 8. And neither one of these units can reaction charge because they're both tired. So we're going to have a charge there. And then this unit here is going to turn like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, it costs 2 extra movement points for a Russian or Prussian unit to enter adjacent hex of a French unit. So, and let's see, this is these are Cossacks. So Baggy has pulled back to allow these cavalry units to come streaming through to attack these tired enemy cavalry. So, and as I said, cavalry that is tired is unable to reaction charge. So, all right, let's go with the green and red one first. So we've got a strength of 4 here. These guys have a strength of 5. Okay, so that is going to stay at 1 to 1. You do not round down, but you round up. Okay. 0.5 or higher rounds up, so it's in favor of the attacker. The odds. So, and I like that. I like the fact that the attacker has that advantage, because they really don't have much more advantage than that, unless they're elite or something like that. So, all right, so we have the odds at 1 to 1, no modifier yet. And if I pull back, you know, just so I can show this. Okay, there's the odds. Okay, it's just 1 to 1. Okay, we go over here. Defending unit, okay, is not elite. It's only got 1 stripe. Okay, it's not green because it does have a stripe, and it's not Russian. Okay, they're not in defend orders, or hold or retire, or regroups or strategic move. They're not charged for more than 1 hex. They're not in obstructed terrain, charged to the flank or rear. Nothing to do with infantry here. So we move on down. Now we go to the attacker. So we didn't have any defensive fire. They're not elite. Okay, they have a 1 stripe. It's not short distance. Okay, they're not fatigued. It's not heavy cavalry against other cavalry. Not uphill, no leaders. Okay, so we've just got a straight up, even to even. So, however, it's really not even because the defender has to roll higher than 8. So the defender has the disadvantage here. And 8. Okay, 8 is not going to save them. Okay, we look over here. If 2 dice 6 result is less than or equal to 8, the charge unit loses 1 step and retreats its full movement potential. Okay, well, cavalry, they only retreat half, rounded down. Okay, so this unit here is going to take a loss. Okay, and they've got to retreat. Half of 5 is 2.5, so they're going to retreat 2 hexes, which would be right there. Okay, we're not going to move that unit in yet. Okay, now we have Klein, okay, getting charged. And we've got 13 against 7, okay. Now, in a lot of games, that would be even, 1-1. But no, it's not, because we round up. So it's 13 to 7 is 2 to 1. So 2 to 1 is going to give a -1. And if we look at all the other modifiers, we're not going to have any modifiers that are going to help anyone, okay, on either side, okay, except for the fact that there's a leader. Now, on the chart, a leader being on the defense is not there, okay? It's only on the attacker. And I don't know if that was just, you know, something that was missed, or if there's, you know, purpose there. But I know in the rules, it states that leaders in a hex, let's see, let me go over here to the leaders. Kind of talks about the benefit of leaders. And yeah, okay. So here, talking about divisional leaders, other leaders too, but his leadership rating is used when in the same hex with units, okay. His presence modifies stand and assault rolls, okay. This, when you see assault, it also references charges, okay. That's also mentioned in the rules. The rules clearly state that if you see assault, it also means charges, refers to charges. It's the same thing. One applies to cavalry, the other applies to infantry. So, okay, when in the same hex with units, okay. So, this role is actually performed by the defender, okay, even though it would be applied to the attacker. Now on the chart, and that's an old chart. I'd have to look maybe at the newer chart, but I'm playing that if there's a leader there, then they're going to get that bonus, because the leader would provide, whether it be moral support, maybe the men are going to fight, you know, harder because the leader is there with them, and so that leader would apply his leadership rating, which is a 2, and for the defender it would add +2. So instead of a -1, we're going to have a +1 for this charge roll. I rolled a 7, which it becomes an 8, which is not going to be enough. They're going to take a loss and retreat. So, and this unit, which was already tired, so I don't have to flip it over. So this unit is actually going to have to retreat. Of course, they take a loss. I don't think he would be able to retreat like that. He's going to have to retreat this like this way. And they could push this guy back, this guy here, this guy here, like that. So we would just have like a push. Okay, and then so these two units can then advance in, and I believe I think they have to. Well, cavalry, I would think, would have to advance. Since they charged the X. So, okay, he's tired. And then this unit is tired. Comes into here, and when he comes into there, this unit here can reaction charge because he entered into that hex. So we have an opportunity for another that would be a chance for a reaction charge by the French. So let's get over here to where it's talking about that. See if I can find it. Oh, I'm just looking. Sorry, I'm just looking here for the reaction charge. Oh, and also, infantry unit in line has to pay 1 movement point for changing facing for each extra 60 degrees after the first, before starting. So they can't, those units couldn't have just turned completely around and moved. So I would have to readjust those guys up there. These two units, well, these two units, they would have had to been like somewhere in here. They wouldn't have been able, I think, like right here. Well, they changed to column though. but I thought I had somebody that was in line. So you each vertex that you continue to change facing toward is going to cost you another movement point. It's not just pay one and change to whichever one you want. My mistake. Okay, back to this here. I'm just overlooking it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay. Any unit moves into a front hex of an enemy cavalry unit provokes a possible reaction charge if that cavalry unit is not tired. So they have to decide immediately, and it's resolved after the moving unit ends its movement, which is right there. So yes. So they moved into that hex. Okay. So, and that is one of the front hexes of this cavalry unit. Okay, remember, in this system, you have you have 4 frontal hexes. These 2, and then to the sides. The two rear are, of course, rear. So that's considered one of the front hexes. So we've got 6 against 4, and let's see, 6 against 4. That's gonna round up to 2 to 1. Rounds up to 2 to 1. Okay. And so that's a -1. No one's elite, or the defender's not elite, but he is Russian, so that's a +1. So now we're at 0. And let's see, the only other thing that's going to apply is going to be the short distance. A reaction charge is always a short charge. So that's +2. So they get a +2. I rolled an 11, 12, 13. So that's going to be a loss to the French cavalry unit. And they become tired. All right. So that activation is now over. We're ready to draw another cube. And this one is French. So Klein could strike back at those hussiers, okay, or I can push hard at I haven't used the 3rd division no, the 1st division's already activated once. The 2nd and 3rd division have not. And we're talking about where Davoo's at over there. I haven't activated the 2nd or the 3rd division, which I'm kind of hesitant about the 3rd division over there. We need to get a little closer over here. Okay, so looking at the 3rd division, so if I was to activate him, okay, he's got this cavalry here that's threatening. So I do need to hit like what happened here? These guys get turned? What's the deal here? You know, I've got an opportunity. Okay, he's turned like that. I got an opportunity to take care of that unit right there in the rear. So yeah, Paula's got all this. All this artillery over here. I mean, cavalry. And he's got a cuirassier there, regiment. And you prefer to attack them, because if they're attacking, they're going to be able to use their larger horses. They usually had larger horses. And of course they've got their armor. But just the sheer weight and momentum that they can bring to a charge. The thundering of the hooves was enough to rattle their opponents. Cavalry just, they're too formidable for infantry to try to approach them and do anything. So Freant there underneath Davoo has some He's got 2 regiments of cavalry, but of course one of them is taking a hit. And we want to be able to exploit possibly this it's kind of like, well, what do you do over there? I think what I have to do is Gudine over here is going to have to attack, and because he's able to, what's this guy got? Okay, only 1 loss. So let's use Gudine here. So that's going to be the 3rd Division, their first activation. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to move right here to attack with this unit, and then let's see here. This unit's going to turn to, oops. Won't stop that. Oh, this unit's turned into column. Onto there. And this unit here is turned into column. Advancing right there. That guy's going to stay. Let's see, this guy in square, they can advance. So they're going to advance to right there. And this guy underneath is going to change formation to column. It goes downhill right here. So that's 1 into column, 2 downhill, 3, okay, and let's see, 3, 4, 5, and he changes to squared, which would be 6. Okay. Then this guy here, he's changing to column, so that's 1. Okay. And so 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he turns here. There. Okay. So we've got several charges, assaults. Okay. And let me mark those. Okay. And then we have the one that's adjacent. Okay. So we've got this one going here. And then the last one is this one going here. All right, we'll start with the one over here by the black cube. This unit here is in column. Okay, he's not able to fire at this unit, but he can fire at this unit. So, and he's got a strength of 4. 2 can be fired out of column. So we've got +1 for defensive fire, +1 for infantry firing against infantry in column, and then we have -1 because of the snow. So we've got a +1 with a strength of 2. We rolled an 8, 9's not enough. Okay, the next one, the blue. Okay, so the orange is attacking a firing defensive fire against the blue unit there, which is in column. This unit is in column with a strength of, okay, they've got 3 underneath. Two on top. Okay, so that's going to be strength of 2, defensive fire +1, target is in column +2, -1 for the snow, so +1. We've got 10 +1 is 11. I think that's a hit. It is. Okay, so that unit takes a hit. And I'm just going to put it right here behind. That way I remember to use that modifier in the assault. Okay, and then we go to the, let me reach this way, the other green and red. Okay, so here we've got, oops. Okay, top unit. So we got 4 underneath, and then 1 on top. So that's still going to be a strength of 2. Column. Okay. The target is in column. So defensive fire +1, column +1, snow -1. We end up with a +1. And we rolled a 9, which is a 10, which is not enough. Okay. All right, so now we can go to the assaults, and why not just stay here where we're at? So right here, I said the bottom has 4, the top only has 1. Okay, so that's going to be 5. Attacker has 6, so it's going to be 1 to 1. And let's talk you through this. Okay, the defender is not elite. He's not green, not Russian. He has attack orders, so he's not being attacked by more than 1 hex. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. The French are attacking. Okay, so the defender is not elite or green, but he is Russian, so that's a +1. He's not in defend orders. I believe Kaminsky has attack orders. Yes, he does. Okay. So he's not being attacked by more than one hex, not through the flank. He's not in obstructed terrain. And this is column versus column. Okay, so we go down. So right now we have a +1. Okay, we go down. The assaulting unit was not, did not get hit by fire combat, did not lose strength point. It's not elite. It's not green. It's not short distance. Let's see. That's it. So it's going to be a +1. And I rolled a 12, which becomes a 13, which means the attacker loses 1. This is something that has been added, is the loss of a strength point to the attacker when the roll is 10 or more. So all right, let's move to the next one. Okay, so here, reach this way. Okay, so 2 and the bottom. Ouch. I'm not left-handed. So okay. This guy's underneath there. All right, so we've got 3, and the top unit has lost 2, so they've got a strength of, uh-oh. There's been all kinds of problems here. Getting these guys back on. All right. So they've got 5. The attacker has 5. So we're just it's 0-0 there, modifier wise. They are Russian. No green, no elites. So that's going to be a +1. He wasn't in line. He was in column. That would change the fire. Okay. So, no, it wouldn't. They couldn't both be in there. They got to be both in the same formation. So they were in column. So, column versus column. And that's all we're going to have. It's going to be a +1 because they're Russian in defense. 12. Well, no, it's more than that because they took a loss, the French. So it's actually a +2. So roll a 12, which becomes a 14. So, all right, so they lost 2. And the defenders held. Okay, now we go over to the last one there. And this one's going to be a little bit different. Okay, we've got 4 defender. So this is 4 here and 6 there. So that's going to be 10, 2 to 1. Might be 3 to 1 because you round up. Yeah. 3 to 1 due to the rounding up. So that's 3 to 1. That's going to be minus 2. Russian plus 1, so it's minus 1. Assaulted from by more than 1 hex, so now we're at minus 2 again. Charged through the rear, that's another minus 2, so we're at minus 4. And so that's where we're going to be. Minus 4. We don't need to roll. They're going to be forced to take the loss. Because minus 4, if I roll a 12, that's still an 8. That's not, it's 8 or less. So they're going to have to retreat. Now, where are they going to retreat? Let's move this. So, they've got to retreat 3 hexes. Okay, retreat guidelines. Move away from assaulting enemy units. Avoid retreating to any hex that brings the retreating units closer to an enemy unit. Avoid retreating to a hex that is occupied by friendly units. If a unit can't avoid moving adjacent to enemy occupied hexes, it loses 1 strength point. Okay. If a hex adjacent to a unit that has to retreat is occupied by enemy units, the retreating unit surrenders. Okay, so it's got to move away from enemy units, okay, assaulting units. So here is really not an option, okay, and they've got to try to avoid moving adjacent to enemy units, okay. They don't really, here, they can't go there, okay, or here. I'm just going to say, of course, they're going to get pushed here, okay, rather than go into that hex. Okay, because this is number 1 on the list. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is number 1 on the list. Okay, do not move adjacent to the assaulting. Okay, number 2 is don't move adjacent to enemy units. Number 3 is don't move into hexes occupied by friendly units. Well, so this is out of question. This is out of question. This is out of question. So the only option is here, which means they're going to lose another strength point. Okay. So this unit here is going to get pushed. Okay. So we're going to push that one there. Okay. Of course, this one is going to get pushed. Both of them. Okay. They're going to get pushed to here. Okay. So this unit is already takes one loss for losing the assault. Okay, they move here. Now they've lost 2. What's the second loss? Because they're moving adjacent to an enemy unit. Okay, so that's only one movement. They got to go 2 more. Okay, so here these 2 guys. Oops, these 2 units here are going to get pushed here. Okay, for this unit to go 2, and then 3, they can go to there. Well, let's see here. Hold on. Okay, so he was here. This unit was here. These guys were here. Okay, so he would get pushed. He would push here. Oh, sorry. And then he could go through this. Well, they're actually a different formation. I mean, a different, yeah. They couldn't stack together. Okay, so he could go here, then here, and then here. And this guy would only be pushed in there. Oops. Oops. Oh, sorry, we got to put the 2 underneath him. Now, one more thing. This unit, these 2 units were adjacent when he was forced to retreat. So they have to do a roll to stand. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so they're roll to stand. Okay, they're not green, they're not elite, but they are Russian, so they get a +1. Okay, adjacent friendly unit retreated, so that's a -1. Is there any enemy cavalry nearby? No. So we had a +1 and a -1, so it's just straight up even. Got to roll higher than a 6. I roll a 7, so okay, they don't have to retreat. Okay, so I can still move someone into this hex here. Okay, which is going to be these guys here. I'm going to move these guys. These guys in there. Okay. All right, so we're done there. Now we can pull back, see the bigger picture, and we can pull out another cube, get another activation going. And it's going to be another French activation. So we got to look to see where we want to activate again. The Guards already activated twice. The 3rd Dragoons have activated twice. I still I still haven't activated the second division of Davos. I don't understand why these guys are turned like that. Probably should be like that. There. I mean, I do have these, this square right there. Oh. One thing, what I didn't do was right here when that square moved adjacent to those dragoons right there, they had the opportunity to evade. Okay, and I probably here should be like this. I probably should have allowed them to evade, but I didn't move them. It's like, why didn't I do that? I don't know. So anyways, I'm looking here at, okay, so Milan really, if I activate him again, Malhad, Malhoud, I have to look that up to see how that's pronounced. Right here. Milad or Milad, maybe that's how you pronounce it. Milad. Okay, Milad is, his units will only have a movement of 4. I mean, not 4. They have to subtract 4. So they're not going to be able to really move much, except maybe move back closer to where he's at. And I think I might do that. I don't know. I don't want to really waste an activation like that when I got other pressing concerns. Well, let's see here. I've got 3 activations left after this one, and I want to be sure that I've got an issue over here that needs to be addressed. Okay, over here we're going to activate Joseph. This will be the second activation. Okay, so Joseph needs to be activated now. Why? Well, we've got this regiment of hussars right here, and Joseph is sitting on these artillery. So they could easily be captured by these hussars, or these hussars could turn and attack my cavalry in its rear. Okay, while also attacking from its front. Okay, this unit here is still full strength. So You know, this one with this one, they could really hurt, could seriously do some damage there. So Joseph is going to activate, and let me pull back just a little bit more. So let's put that on his column. This is the second activation. So the cavalry have 2 less movements. All right, now this unit is out of command. So all they're going to be able to do is move back into command. They're not going to be able to move back and then attack. Okay, they do have attack orders. So I also have to be concerned about pulling some of my units back. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, first thing we're going to do is this unit here is going to turn, and let's see what they've got. Okay, so this unit here is going to turn like so, and he's only got a movement of 4. Okay, so 1, downslope is 2, hex is 3, and then moving it to adjacent to a French unit is 4. So he can actually get there. This unit here is going to turn like so. Okay, and then they're going to go 1, 2, downslope 3, 4, 5, and we'll just turn them like that. All right. This guy's going to stay. This guy here, oops, is going to turn around. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. This guy here, let me redo his movement, because he's only got 5. He doesn't have the full 7. So he's got 5 to start with. So if he turns, okay, and he goes 1, 2, downslope is 3, hex is 4, 5. Okay, he can't get there. But I did not, I don't want to turn him like that. Okay. All right, this unit here turns, and they've got 5. Okay, so upslope is 1, 2, and when they go up slope, they're going to turn like that, and then they're going to spend a movement to turn back. So they're going to be right there. Okay. All right, over here, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys are out of command, so they're going to have to move back into command. So this guy's going to turn. Of course, they can't go through that. They got to go around. So, and he's got a movement of only 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he goes 1, 2, 3. Okay, no, he was here. So he turns here like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's actually able to turn right there. This unit here turns, has 4. 1, so he was pointing here. 2. Well, let's see. If he's here, he could get to here and be in command. Same thing with this guy. Right? So I would think they would just move to the, say, so 1, 2, 3, 4. He just have to go like turn, like so. He could go, he's got a movement of 4. 1, 2, 3, and then turn like this to 4. All right. All right, so he can't go there now. So he's got to go this way. 1, turns this way. 1, 2, 3, and then turn back 4. This guy here has got to move closer. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets him within range. And let's see here. Okay, that'll be it. Okay, this unit here was not able to reaction charge because he's tired. All right, so now we have so let's see. Chaucer's de Chevelle. Okay, so they've got 6. That's 10. Okay, to 8. Okay, so that's not going to round up. It's going to be 1 to 1. All right, so we've got 1 to 1. We've got Russians get a +1. No one's elite, but no one's green either. So +1 for the Russians. They're being attacked by more than 1 hex. So that's -1, so we're at 0. Not in the flank, any of that kind of stuff. We don't have heavy cavalry involved. So now the attackers are fatigued. So that's +2. So we do have a +2 on the die roll. Let's see. Yeah. So we've got 9, 10, 11. So defenders have to take a loss. And I'm just going to apply it to this one. I mean, the attackers have to take a loss, and we just stay where we're at. Okay, so that's that. We pull back, take a look here, and we pull another cube. And I guess this is the 3rd French in a row. So that means the next cube after this will have to go to either red or green. And let's see, what else was it? Let's see, I haven't used my 2nd Cuirassiers division. So that's who's going next. Right here. De Hapoul. Okay. Now it's not going to benefit us to attack a square. And the reason is they're going to get a +4. And that would be a waste of my Cuirassiers. Another waste is going to be attacking these guns. But I've got to do something about the guns. So but the guns, man, those things are so powerful. But I can take these out here. So instead of just sitting here taking a beating. So this unit here is going to go down slope. That's 1, 2, and then 3, 4. Okay, got to have +1 to enter into the adjacent hex of an enemy unit. But these guys here are going to turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're going to go there. Um, yeah. This horse artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to turn to blast that square. Okay. This is their target. We get a red pulled. And then here, can't go through that cemetery. Okay. I'm going to move these guys. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And, okay. Then we're going to move 1. Don't want to get too close to that artillery, but at the same time, I got to protect that my own artillery. So, right there. Okay. All right, defensive fire. Let's see what we got under here. 2 guns, and they're light. How do I know that? Well, this little white line that's running on this side right here. Okay, tells me they're light. Okay. Now, the fire's got to be split. So each battery will fire at one of the targets. Okay. So we'll fire at the green target first. And adjacent is going to be times 4. So that's going to be 8, firing with a strength of 8. We're going to have a -1 for snow. The defensive fire modifier is just for infantry. So we got a -1. Rolled an 8, becomes a 7. That's going to be a miss. Okay. All right. Next, same modifiers, -1. Fire strength of 8. Rolled a 3, becomes a 2. So wow, they escaped the fire of those batteries. I guess the trying to load so fast they had maybe some cannons didn't get their the ball loaded, cannonball loaded or something. That or they fired over their heads. Probably because they are attacking from below. So that's a possibility. Okay, so we have a defensive strength now in the charge of 4. And we have 6, 14. Okay, that's going to be more than 4 to 1. This is going to be an automatic loss and capture those guns. I can tell you that right now. So -3 for 4 to 1. The artillery is not elite or green, but they are Russian. So that's a +1. So now we're at -2. They are in a defense order, I believe. No. Tolstoy is in attack. That's 2nd Division. He's been attacking. So, yeah. Attack. So he doesn't get any modifier there. He's being charged from more than 1 hex. That's a -1. So we're back up to -3. And then we have artillery alone in a hex -5. So now we're at -8. The charging unit is going uphill. That's +2. So we're at a -6. Okay, that's an automatic loss there. Okay, so both of these guns, the batteries are captured. Okay, so that's 2 more cubes lost by the Russians. And let's see which unit I want to put up there. Can't put them both. I guess I'll put this one. Now, when this unit moves up here, some of these units can go to square. Okay, but they would have to roll. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I'll wait to have to roll. All right, so that activation's finished. Some activations take a long time to go through. Other activations, if all you have is like moving units, then you know. And we have a green. So so right here, Doctoroff, I could activate him. Let's see, 7th Division. He's got a move order. So I could put some of these units in square, which I think is what I want to do. So I'm going to activate Doctoroff to move these units back. Let's see, Kaminsky's, I had never activated him either. Okay, so how many more do I have left? Okay, I got 3. Okay, so Doctoroff here doesn't want to give Dehapul a chance to attack my his infantry. Okay, so you're going to square, and here they're not having to roll. Because they're activated, so they can just go to square. So those 2 guys are going to square, this guy's going to square. And let's see here. I think these guys here are going to go to square. Like that. And then he can actually move some of his other units here. We got 7th Division, where are they at? Okay, right there. Alright, so he can actually bring up his guns. Where does he want to bring those guns? All right, so he's going to move. He's going to move that unit. This unit here is going to go 1, 2, and then 3 to turn around like this. Okay, 3, and then change the line. This unit is going to go to square right here. And let's see, these guns are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. These other guns, let's see, where do I want to put them at? Actually turn. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put them right there. That way we've got a possible chance to fire at this cavalry here. We have a red. All right, so that's what Doktorov has done. Now we can go to the next cube. And it goes back to the French. So, what do we want to do here? Let's see, who hasn't? Is there someone that I haven't done anything with? Oh yeah, the second division. But I don't know that let's go back a little bit. I don't know that Friant really has a lot to do here. Besides maybe using his cavalry to attack. And possibly put some of his units into square. Move his artillery to a better position. All right, so we're gonna activate Friant, and Friant is the second division of Davout's forces, and he's right here underneath Davout. Okay, so right there, and so. These two here are going square. That's really the only thing that they can do is they could get square and then advance and slowly push the cavalry units back. That's one tactic that you can use. So this cavalry unit is going to slide here and then attack right there. Now, now the cuirassier there, he's heavy, but it's going to be a short charge. So he gets a -2. But because it's a short charge, it's a +2. But he's still putting the emphasis on the French enrolling. And so you've really got a better opportunity to go ahead and do the. Well, he could just sit there. And put the emphasis on the attacker, but he is Russian, so he does get the +1 there. And but of course you're gonna have to roll higher than an 8. So, but he'd still be able to reaction charge if, say, someone else decided to come join the party. Okay, but I think he's going to use he's heavy cavalry. He doesn't want to sit still. Okay, he doesn't get a benefit for sitting still as heavy cavalry. So he's going to reaction charge. All right, so we're going to have the reaction charge there. All right, so the red is the attacker in this instant, and he's taken 1 loss. So he's at 8. Okay, so not only by attacking, he puts the emphasis on. I mean, the defender is the one that's having to roll higher than an 8. He also gets the benefit of the rounding up of being the attacker. So at 8 to 5, that's going to be 2-1 because of the roundup. So, see, these are little things that you need to think about, whether or not the reaction charge. You know, really the only other, there's only one other cavalry regiment that's available. So, plus he's got, there beside him, he's got cavalry close by. So he's not alone. So, you know, kind of the French attacking here is kind of in a position where von Paulin, who is the, let's see, left wing artillery, cavalry, well, they've got a move order. So they're actually not able to, they won't be able to attack. They're actually wanting to move back. So there that is. If they were an attack order, they'd be able to really punish that cavalry unit for charging, just from sheer numbers, possibly being able to attack him. But anyways, so that's what we have. So we have actually a -1 because it's 2-1, and the French is not going to get any benefit on defense. They're not elite, they're not green, they're not Russian, they're not under defend, hold, retire, regroup, strategic move order, they're not being charged by more than 1 hex, they're not in obstructed terrain, they're not charged to the flank or rear, and so we move on down. So right now it's just a -1, which is in favor of the attacker. So then we get down to where we have cavalry at short distance. Okay, this is reaction charge is always going to be a short charge, which becomes a +2. So now we're at +1. Then we go to cavalry being fatigued. No, they're not fatigued. And then we move to heavy versus other cavalry. So we have heavy against other cavalry. That's -2. So we actually end up with a -1. Okay, which is not good for the French. So I rolled a 4, becomes a 3. So they are going to take a loss and have to retreat. So I got to flip them over. Six. We have to retreat 3. So, come on. 1, 2, 3. We just go back to there. All right, so there we are. Now we're not done. We're not actually done with the movement. Our movement kind of got stalled. So, see this unit here, I can move it right there and put it in square. And here I'm going to move both of these guys like that. This artillery, I'm going to flip it over. That's 2. And we go downhill 3, 4. So that's as far as it's able to go. Now this other cavalry unit could attack. and why not? Okay, so they got a strength of 5. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4 into the hex plus 1 for moving adjacent to a enemy unit, a Russian unit. So the French have to pay an extra movement. All right, so here we have 5 against 8. So I guess that's going to be 1 to 2. So 1 to 2. Okay. Going to be a +2. He's not yeah, he is Russian, so that's +3. That's probably not so good because we don't get any other benefit out of this. So a +3. That's not so good. All right. So basically, we're going to give them a free. I'm going to get a free spanking on the French here. All right, +3. They get that's 6 + 3 is 9. Everybody just stays where they're at. So no losses there. Kind of a stalemate. Ran up there and kind of stopped, possibly. All right, so now we move to our next activation, which is Russian. Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff. Oh, I gotta flip this guy over. He charged. Oops. Let's see here. We got the 3rd Division, the center artillery. How come they got move orders? They shouldn't have move orders. Huh. Was I gonna move them forward maybe? I don't know, but we gotta change that. That's not good. So the 3rd Division has attack. The 8th Division has move. Well, they were moving, but then all of them started forming. But I could move my guns up. I could do that. Or I need to move Von Paulin back. 3rd Division. Where's the 3rd Division? Oh, that's Sakin. Why is he not? I haven't done anything with him. Let's see. Well, so many of them are. I'm gonna move Van Paulin. Van Paulin needs to move. So that's what I'm gonna do. So here's Van Paulin. So I'm gonna move his troops. Left wing cavalry. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. I can keep the Cossacks back. Let me move this. Move it over here. This unit here is out of command. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So is this one. This one here is out of command too. Alright, so the rest of them are, let's see, maybe these guys aren't. 1, 2, 3, 4, so he's out of command. Just as a reminder, so he's got to move toward Van Palen, or I could leave him there, but if he moves, he's got to move toward him. Alright, so Van Palen's got on there again. Alright, so first off, Cossacks. Van Palen is going to turn with these dragoons, so they're going to turn. Like so. And they're going to move back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then turn. Well, let's see, yeah. Right there. So these Lancers are going to turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going to turn like that. Let's see. This guy here. 1, 2. This guy here would have to move back toward 1, 2, 3. We can move this out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well, let's see. He could have stopped. He could stop right here. Yeah. Okay. The other thing is moving these guys back. They're going to get fired on. All right. So when these cuirassiers begin to move, that square can fire on them. So first off is they're going to turn like so, and then as they move to this hex, they get fired on. Okay, so strength of 2, -1 for the snow. Yeah. Roll a 5, that's missed. They didn't get anything. Okay, so that's 1. Move to 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they just turn back this way. Okay. And okay. That dragoon there, I think he's just going to wait to evade. All right, so he's finished. Same thing with the other one. All right, so that activation's done. Next cube. Okay. Russian. All right, so here is where I can now do something with Sakin. Okay. And he's got some units that he probably needs to pull back here. These units that are in square formation, those are his. So here and here, he needs to do something here. Tell you what, he's got these guys kind of hemmed in. So let's move these guys to here. And then both of these guys have at least 3. So this guy's going to move here. Now, when that guy moved adjacent, he would not want to go there. He wouldn't want to block this off, so he would want to go there. Okay. So evading says cavalry units may always evade by retreating 1 hex if an enemy infantry or artillery unit is in an adjacent hex at the beginning of the simultaneous fire segment. If an enemy infantry unit moves adjacent, or if the opposing player declares a charge with an infantry unit. Evasion doesn't trigger opportunity fire. Okay, an evading cavalry may not end its evasion in a hex adjacent to an enemy unit, but must continue the invasion until it reaches a hex not adjacent. An evading cavalry may evade into obstructed hex via a road and becomes tired. Okay, so basically when he moves adjacent, then that cavalry unit would just be able to evade. So maybe you don't want to move adjacent. That's one way to chase it off, though, I guess. Okay, so when I move adjacent here, it would just evade. So I could just move him here and then continue to move him. Here, here, and then there. But okay, of course that guy's in square. Now that means this guy here doesn't have to stay in square. He hasn't moved yet. So I can actually change his formation and have him go back this way. And have him go back, for example, he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go to line. So he's with that unit. Okay. And then here, let's see what we got here. Okay, he's got 3. So here, I can move this guy to there. Oops. I think I want to move him. Yeah, let's move him here. Okay, so that means this guy could move to here. This guy would have to move here and there. I think I would be still in square. Actually move to here. And force these guys either stay where they're at or evade. So this guy can move to here. This guy. Like so. Of course, then you just keep the pressure up. These guys have to move together. They have exactly 3. So of course, these guys move there. And this guy could. I could move there. I think he'll just stay there. This guy doesn't have enough to change the square. He'll turn like that though. Well, let's see, this unit here could move, let's see, he's part of 3rd Division, so he can move 1, 2, and then change to the line also. Put him on the bottom. Maybe next activation they can go to square. And let's see here. Yeah. This guy's gonna move there. So he's gonna move there. This guy's moving there. Guess he'll just stay there. These guys here. They are going to move here. They're going to stay there. All right. So that's third division is activated. Okay, I got 3 left. One of each color. That means this is going to be the last activation for this hour. So this is going to be it. And it's going to be red. How about that? So we're going to have the fire, simultaneous fire combat. And we start over here as always. This is just where I start. This is not where you have to start. But, and the Russians had the initiative. So they would get to fire first. And let's see here. They're not going to have a let's see, artillery target till I move some. So I guess I'll start right there, this unit. So if I can put this, I can leave it there, but okay. So and we're firing on this unit here. Now, due to the fact he's firing, that unit's in line. He's firing into his flank, so that's going to be as if he was firing into his into a infantry in column. Okay. Okay. So we've got a strength of 2, -1 for the snow, +1 for infantry firing on infantry in column, or should be stated infantry firing target in the flank of a unit in line. So it's kind of lengthy, but so that's going to be +1, so it becomes 0. So that's what we got. Ooh, I rolled a 10. I don't think that's gonna. I think I have to have 11. Yeah. Okay, so that unit fired. Okay. All right, so we're gonna fire with this artillery unit here underneath Joseph. So, okay, he's firing over these guys. These guys are on that lower level. So, I think I'll fire at these cuirassiers there. So that's a range of 1, 2, 3. That's times 2. Right. So it should be a strength of 4. -1 for the snow. And that's it. -7, -1, 6. Strength of 4 is not enough. You have to have at least a 9 strength of 4. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go back to these guys firing on this guy in line. So that's going to be a strength of 2 -1, so we're going to have to get a 12. Nope. All right. So why not? We'll go ahead and fire with this guy. So he's got to split his fire. He is in line. So orange. Okay, so you can fire up to 4 strength points out of line times 2. So he's firing at each target at a strength of 4. Okay, and they're in column, so that's +1. Snow is -1, so we're just straight up even with a strength of 4. 6 is not enough. He's got to get at least a 9. Okay, now he's firing at the red target. Oh, we did get a 9, so that's a hit. Let's see. The red target takes a hit. Okay. Now, of course, they're firing here. And again, that's 2. Firing at line, -1 for the snow. Gotta get a 12. Nope. All right. So now we can put smoke markers on all of them. All right, next. Let's see here. Let's pull back, make sure we don't have someone else here. Oh yeah, right here. So these guys can actually turn that. So out of range. This one here, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's going to be, even though you have this slope here, they can still see because it's equal distance between the firing unit and the target unit. So if he was here, it'd be different. Or if he was backed up one more, then he wouldn't be able to see him. But where he's at now, he can. All right, so that's going to be no, it's going to be a strength of 4, not 6. So 4 -1 for the snow. Roll a 3 becomes a 2. So I'm gonna have to stack that artillery to be beneficial. All right, now let's look around, make sure we don't have someone else here that needs to be looked at. I think the next one we're looking at is gonna be right here. Yeah. Okay. So these guys are gonna fire here, and he is in line. Okay. So strength of 2, -1 for the snow. I didn't. It'll get some of this stuff out of the way. It's interfering with my dice. Eight. That's not enough. Okay. And now it's going to be reversed. Okay. So we've got line. 4 times 2 is 8. Strength of 8. Target is in column, so that's +1. Snow is -1, so 0. And a 7 at 8. Strength of 8. Oh, I've got to have an 8. So. Okay, so we put smoke markers on both of them. And we move on. So now we got these guns. These heavy guns have been doing all this damage. I think they're going to fire at those guys. 1, 2, 3. I think he can't see him. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can him. So go back. That's going to be the target. They're in line. Target is at 4, range 4. That's only going to be ×1. So they're 8. 4, no, 7. 7. They're heavy, so that's +1. Snow is -1, so it's just straight up. And a 9. That's going to be a hit. A hit here. Now at 2. Okay. Now this unit. Okay. Fire at these guys. One, 2, 3, 4. So firing at artillery though, that's -3. I'm gonna have a hard time. Better off firing at something that's got some infantry. So why don't I go ahead and fire here? All right, so range is 4, strength is 4, so it's going to be on the 4. That's in column, so the only modifier is going to be -1 for the snow. And we rolled a 10. -1 becomes a 9, so yes, we get a hit there. So now they're at 3. Okay. Yeah, we want to hit that guy. All right, so I think this is going to be 8. Nope, still 7. Okay. 7, they're in line. It's just going to be a plus. Let's see. +1 for heavy, -1 for snow. 5 is not enough. So I'm going to mark both of those guys with smoke now. So this guy can turn, which would have really put that guy with a +2, right? Yeah. This is where you really need to look through there and turn all of your, you got to turn all of your units prior. Yeah, that's a +2. It wouldn't have mattered, but still. This is where you just go up and down the line saying, okay, who am I going to turn them, and then, you know, that way it solves the gamey stuff. But anyways, it might just be, let's see, it might just be artillery, but I think with the, I think all the units can. Let's see. Well, I'm just going to keep going. I was looking to see where it said specifically about being able to change facing. So, okay. So, we change facing here so we can get this unit in our fire. So that's going to be 4 times 2. That's 8. Okay, he's in column, so that's a +1. But we have the snow, so we have a -1, so we're at 0. 8. I don't think that's enough. It might be. Yes, it is. Okay, so that's a hit. And let's see here. This unit now has 3 losses. Okay, and we'll go ahead and let this unit here fire back. Okay, let's see. They would still have enough. the fire back. Okay, they do anyway. So that's going to be the fire back. It's going to be -1 for the snow, strength of 2, and I rolled an 8. That's not enough. Okay, so put a snow. Let's see, a smoke marker. Alright, so now we have this unit here, firing here. Okay. 6. And let's see, this guy's turned here. He's firing into his front. So 6, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just +1, times 1. So 6 strength. He's in line. -1 for the snow. I rolled a 9. Becomes an 8, which is a hit. No, that is a hit. Okay. All right. We got here. Okay, so they're actually turning. And let's see here. I do have right here. It's not. You're not going to be able to. If I'm. It's actually the French turn. We go ahead and put a smoke marker here. That guy's going to got a different target. This fighting in the villages has to be done by assaults. You're not going to be able, because you only get a strength of 2, and you're going to have targets in the terrain. That's -3. So you just can't roll high enough. So you don't even mess with that. So okay. So here we got this artillery firing here. There's just that one unit there. So that's 1, 2. That's going to be ×3. No, ×2. So strength of 4, -1 for the snow. 7 becomes 8 becomes 7. Okay, missed. All right. Then we turn a little bit here, and we've got this guy here firing right there. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be ×2. So he's going to have a strength of 4 with +4 because the target is in square. -1 for the snow. So +3. 7 becomes 10. Okay, that's a hit. So that's what we got. Okay, and he's got to come out of the square. Can't be in the square any longer. All right. Smoke marker. All right, I got one here that I've overlooked here. So, right here, I've got 2 guns here, batteries. Nope, look at that. So we got to come back down here. And I think we might want to fire right here into that village there. That's 1-2. We might be able to do some damage to that one. Let's see. If I did, that's 4 times, let's see, 2, I think. Yeah. That's 8. Okay. But of course, they're in that, so it'd be a -3. I can still get a hit, but what do we got here? Yeah, we're just gonna fire right here. So that's 8. That guy's in column. So that's +4 -1 for the snow, so it's +3. So that 7 becomes 10. 10. I have a strength of 8? Yeah. That's just 1 hit. That's 1 more closer to this guy being eliminated. And so now we'll have this battery, 1, 2. That's going to be strength of 4. +4 -1 for the snow, +3. What's that? 5 becomes 8. And what I say, it's got a strength of what, 4? He missed. Dadgummit. Could have blasted that Russian battalion off the map. Okay. All right, let's move back over here where we're going to have some serious possible attacks here. So these 2 guys. Okay. Gonna fire right here. At Hatpu de Hapu. All right, so 1, 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's gonna be ×2. Dang. All right. 4. Can't reach that one. Okay, so actually, if he was to turn like this, you know, let's turn like that. We want to fire here first, right there. So the bottom one is going to fire 1, 2. So that's 8 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay. -1 for the snow. 12. That becomes an 11 at 8. Okay, so that's 2 hits. And then, let's see, then, instead of here, I go and hit here. No hit here, because we got a chance maybe to hurt, or do, maybe hurt Hapu, de Hapu. Alright, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, that's going to be 8. -1 for the snow. We rolled a 4. So that didn't give us anything. Okay. And let's see, these guys of course need to turn. And why not? They're going to fire right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I believe they're 8. Yeah. That's going to be a strength of 8 -1 for snow. 7-6, nope. No effect. And then these guys turning, I don't think they got anybody in range right now. So, 4, nope. Yep, nobody. Nobody. All right, so let's move around to where we do. All right, here. Well, he can evade. He don't have to stay there. Goes there. To evade, he'd have to go here. Here, here, and then here. All right. Oh, let's see here. I'm gonna leave this unit there. I'm not gonna allow him to evade there because he's gonna be moving between all these units here. I mean, over here we would move here and then move across to another adjacent hex to the enemy. So at some point I think they'd get to fire on you. So here at least he's moving to a different adjacent to a different unit. So he could move, okay, so here, and then he could move there. This guy here, okay, of course, they're in a different situation. Because there's nowhere he can go that he's not going to move adjacent to the same unit. More than, just one hex. So, all right, he don't have a very good chance of getting a hit anyways, but anyways, okay. So we've got a strength of 2, -1 for the snow. See, 9's not enough. Okay, so, it's a long shot that he's going to get a hit. Now, he could get a hit, but it's a long shot. So, and then this one here is the same thing. the same situation. He can't go anywhere where he's not going to go more than 1 hex by another unit. He's going to move. He's going to be adjacent to the same unit in multiple hexes. You know, like a continuous. So, you know, he's got to get a 12. Is what he's got to get. So that was a miss too, or ineffective. All right, so ooh, right here, these units. Let's move back over here. Okay, so this unit here can fire here. Okay, that's 3 hexes, so times 2, so strength of 4, minus 1 for the snow. And we rolled an 11, becomes a 10, and that'll be a hit. Yep. So he's still going to be the target. Of course, this time it's this unit. Same thing. Strength of 4, minus 1 for the snow. Rolled a 3. Okay. Alright, so we got 2 smoke markers there. Alright. Okay, so let's move on around. We don't have any, this guy doesn't have a target. Okay, but up here we will have a target up here with some of DeVos units. Okay. So let's go back some more. There we go. All right. Right here. Well, no, I don't think we will. They're out of range. Yeah, because of the snow. They're all out of range. But we go up here. We have this unit here. Okay, not going to be able to fire. This unit here can. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's going to be times 2. That's 4, strength of 4. Minus 1 for the snow. 6 is not enough. Okay. Let's see. This guy turned. He's don't have anything to hit. He's got in his way. So, but we do have this guy firing here. Both of those guys in column can fire. Okay. So, strength of 2. Firing at an infantry unit in column plus 1. Snow is minus 1, so it's just straight up. Snake eyes. Okay. We'll go ahead and let this other one fire, and then we'll go the other way. Same thing. Straight up. Oh, a 10. I don't think a 10's enough with a strength of 2. I think you have to have an 11. Yeah. All right, now have this unit in column firing at these two targets. So against the orange, okay, he's got to get a 12. Roll a 5, okay. Against the red, 7, okay. Not enough. All right, we don't have any other stuff going on there. Okay, so of course I got to remove the smoke markers. I'll do that after I shut the video down. All right, so what we do now is we have to go around and we have to look for units that are going to recover. So units that are in regroup, hold, or retire. Okay, regroup, hold, or retire. Now we've got some units that are doing that. So let's come over here and take a look. Okay, so let's go with the Russians first to see if they have any. Okay, so the 5th Division and Marco both have hold. Okay. And that's Center Cavalry Reserve is under hold, but they haven't taken any losses. So we're going to look at Markov and 5th Division. Okay. Now Markov is back here. He hasn't taken any hits. Okay. So now we have to look for the 5th Division. Okay. Now the 5th Division, because they're in hold, okay, but then they're going to be able to gain they're going to gain 2 strength points to 2 of their units. Okay, each unit only gets 1 strength point regained. Okay, so we take a look at the 5th Division here, and if they can't recover completely. So where we've already, those guys can't recover anything. This unit can. So this unit recovers 1. So they're now just at 2. Okay. This unit here can't recover. Already told those can't. And those are not his. Okay, but this one right here, let's flip it over. Okay, so there's the 2 for the 5th Division. Okay, so now we need to take a look at the French. Let's see what they've got. Okay, so we pull back here. Okay, so the 2nd Division of Dragoons, that's Grouchy's, they haven't done anything. Okay. The 1st Division of 4th Corps, that's Saint Hilaire, has got hold. And the 1st Division of 7th Corps has regroup, and the 2nd Division has hold. Okay, so we've got 2 holds and a regroup. 1st Division regroup. Okay. So let's find those units, those divisions. So here's 1st Division of 4th, that's St. Hilaire. So again, they can recover total of 2 strength points, 1 to 2 different battalions. Okay, this unit back here has lost 6. This one here, 5. Let's see what we got up here. This one's 5. Only one there. This one lost 5. This other one's lost 7. Okay, so this unit here, we're gonna reduce his from 7 to 6, and okay, okay, where's the unit that goes on top of there? Oh, this guy. Okay. We'll leave him at 5 for now. Let's see which one. This guy's got 5. Okay, I'll reduce this guy here. Needs to be in regroup. Okay, so now we move to, we've got the 7th Corps. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 7th Corps. All right, so the 2nd Division is also in hold. So they get to regain 2 strength. So let's see who is in desperate need here. This guy here, and possibly this guy. Okay, so we're going to do these 2 guys here. They're going to get some strength back. So that'll be 2 and 2 there. Okay, and then down here, these guys are in regroup, which means regroup, they all should be all of the units under regroup. Okay, yeah, regroup. Each unit of the division may regain 1 strength point. So, okay, this unit here goes to 5. This one here can't go any further. This one goes to 3. This one here goes to 4. Oops. Oogaroo. Already changed this one. This one goes to 4. All right, that's what I need to do with St. Hilaire's. Get a few more, and those guys will be able to go back in. So now I have to remove the smoke markers, flip our cavalry back to their fresh side, and then we'll be ready for the next turn. So that'll be the 2 o'clock turn, 1400 if you're going that way. So hopefully you're enjoying this as much as I am. I really like this game, and would relish the opportunity to play face to face with someone, because I think one thing is it will go a lot smoother and quicker, and you've got two minds working on issues that you come across that you're like, well, what happens here? Then you can, you got two minds that say, okay, it's like this or it's like that. So and again, the orders, fatigue, and the activation cubes really put this game at a much higher level in comparison to a lot of the other Napoleonic tactical games. So you have to experience this, I guess, to fully appreciate it. And I've played all of the known Napoleonic systems, whether it be I call it the Neighbors Wellington, the old SPI. That's a classic. If that had a better map and better counters, then, and I know that what is it? Winner's Victory is also over the Eylau battle. I was disappointed in the counters that I saw with that. The map looks nice, but and I don't know how much they cleaned up the rules on that. I didn't get the new Wellington's Victory. Man, that thing was so expensive. I've got the old one, the old SPI, and I haven't. I like the map. Well, the maps aren't so bad, really. But the counters, it's hard to see the cavalry strap, I guess, and of course you don't have any kind of command rules, okay, restrictions, and there's not any chit pulls or activation cues, so that kind of limits my overall perspective on that game. The Gamers Napoleonic Brigade system, I love that game. However, the command system it's overly complicated, and this has simplified the command system. And yet it may be simplified, but it still creates some chaos for the player, and it also limits the player in their control of their units, just like would happen to an actual army commander. You're wanting an order or a unit to do something, but they're beyond your command range, so you got to send some messenger much further away, and so it's where you're having to roll the initiative. So there's a lot of more freedom in the command system, but also you have a lot of restraint, which needs to happen. The NBS system was too kind of quirky, and you did run into the fact of where you had, where orders were, not accepted Um, but whether or not that was because the leaders' rating was too low, or the percentage of passing was not correct. Something needed to be adjusted in that. But it was still, I love the game. I love the mechanics. I love the assault, the way the assaults were done. I love the way the assaults are done in this game. And I think it's in this game it's more of a historical result. Much like the NBS, I thought they had a more historical result in the way the assaults were handled. So, but this is so much easier to play than La Bataille. It's easier to play than Viva la Emperor, and I do like the Viva la Emperor. I've got at least 2 sets of video series on Viva la Emperor, and I like their maps. I like their counters. The counters are kind of unique. But that system does not have a sound command system. It's you can use one if you want, or you can do written orders. You can do this. You can do that. But it's not set up like this where you have specific orders that you have to assign and then you have to change in order to do this or to do that. So this is, in my opinion, more complete. Okay, a more historical, complete game, and so much easier. The La Bataille, that was one of the things about them is there was no real command system. Your turn, you just moved everything, and just back and forth like that. And to me, that's not as chaotic as this, where you've got some units are moving, some are not, and also you have the multiple activations that you can do with your divisions. So that itself, I think, in my opinion, puts this game higher than the other ones. And there are maybe some cleaning up of the rules still to go, or clarifying things, or maybe some modifiers added or so forth. That's up to the designer. But I don't see any major flaws in this game, and the rules are written so that it's not difficult to read. Okay, and if you're not allowing a lot of these other rules games to cloud your judgment, then you just follow the way that it's written in the rules and go. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to change anything. I'm just looking at the rules and saying, okay, maybe this here or this that. So plus, like I already said, I like that. I like the fact that there's freedom to make a decision and just go with it, and if it's that was intended, at some point maybe you're come across where you then see, okay, no, the way I was doing it was not the way it was supposed to go, and no big deal. So, and don't forget that this is the first volume. You have to understand, it takes time for a system to mature and grow and get to the point where everything's settled and clear. And if there's any kind of rules that you come across that you're like, well, I don't know about that, or I don't see that, or this or that, you got to look past that and give time for everything to develop. Keep looking for the living rules coming out, and you know. But you're the one playing it. You're free to adjust here or there, whatever. But in my opinion, there's no major flaws that are going to say, well, this I can't play this. You know, and like in my opinion, you come across things that you know, you're thinking, well, do I do this or do that? It's now, hey, you got control of that. You can decide how, if this or that's going based on how you interpret, you know. And that's what I do. You know, and I try not to go flip flop back and forth, but you know, I probably have in a couple of instances about different things here or there. I do think that once you move into an adjacent hex to an enemy unit, you can't change formation. So if you're adjacent to an enemy unit, you wouldn't be able to change to square, you know, or you wouldn't be able to change from column to line. You know, I don't think that's something that the troops would want to do. You know, adjacent or close to an enemy unit. You're not wanting to change formation. You know, you want to change formation before you get there. Okay, or before you approach the enemy. All right. So it's not like you can be in square in column. You approach the enemy. You get adjacent, and then you go to then you go to line or square, okay, or you know, which if you approach the cavalry unit, if they're not tired, then they pounce on you. But if they're tired, you could approach and change to, and say you change to square, okay. You wouldn't be able to. You can't do that, okay. So I understand now the rule that is just maybe it needs to state, you know, also if you're already adjacent to an enemy, you know, adjacent to an enemy unit, you can't change formation. Simple as that. I was changing formation over here when I was adjacent, and you know, I tried to reason, well, they're not really that close, so forth and so on. But really, just letting it sink in, you know, I would have to go with, you know, the way it's written about moving. You can't like move up to a unit and then change formation. Okay. And I think it's applying that, hey, if you're adjacent, you can't change formation. So that's what I'm going to go with. And I might have flipped on that. I think I flipped on that. But hey, I'm the one playing. It's okay if I flip, you know. It's not that big a deal. Really. So there's just, if you look across there's chaos, just like would be in a normal battle. Look at all the square formations, due to the fact that, you know, the French have tried to bring their cavalry in there, and now they're kind of all kind of, there's an area where there's some of them trapped in here, you know, trying to, you know, possibly looking for a way to get out of there, but they're kind of got trapped by the squares that the Russians formed. And you know, we got to think about, the French have to think about this large cavalry group back here that could easily sweep in and do something serious. Possibly on one of the flanks. I don't want to, which they could come in through here somewhere, and you know. But the other thing is these Prussians that are coming down the road here, that are going to put a lot of pressure over here on the French left. And Ney's not going to show up till, I think, part of his corps will show up at like 4 and the other at 5, I think. And so that's, you know, several hours away. And Davout hasn't really been able to turn that flank. And that's because Bennigsen sent Kaminsky over there in his infantry division. So that's kind of stalled the French's idea of turning the flank there. And you know, Davout did not keep any reserves. He's got all three all three divisions spread out along there, trying to put pressure on the French there, on the Russian left, but he's not able to do much because of the cavalry here. The cavalry's kind of stalling his infantry push, and with their ability to evade, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for them to advance. And if they advance in column or line, they're going to get reaction charged. So this is where we're sitting at. Now we take a look at the fatigue. Okay, the Russians are sitting here at, that's 90. Okay, so that's 10 each. So there's 9 there. They got 90, and then we have 8. So they got 98. Okay, they've lost significant amounts right there. The French are at 100, okay, and 109. So 109 to 98 is where we're at. So during this hour, the French won that round because they lost less fatigue points, and those came from losses of units, of battalions, batteries, so forth. And there's all the losses stretched across there. And if we look at the activations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 12. And the Russians, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 11 to 8 in activations. The Russians are going to have to try to keep from losing army fatigue through orders. They've got to change some of these orders where they're not losing any fatigue points. They've got too many attacks that they didn't even get off. Okay, like the right wing, they didn't do anything this time. Okay, Korth, okay, here he is. He's got attack. He didn't do anything. That was wasted. Okay, wasted 2 army fatigues. Okay, over here we had a move. They didn't move. Okay, that's 1. Okay, over here we got another attack. 14th Division, Kaminsky didn't attack. That's another 2. So we lost 5 fatigue points. The Russians did 5 fatigue points, and they for doing nothing. And then these other attacks, there was no attack that activated more than once. So what's the purpose of having attacks when that's not what you're doing? Like Baggy, he didn't attack, he moved back. And yet they still lost 2 fatigue points for him moving back and not attacking. So the Russians have got to get away from having all these attack orders. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attack orders. That's 12 fatigue points. The French, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've got 8. That's 16 fatigue points. So they also need to cut down on their attacks. Like over here with Davout, you know, when he knows he's not going to attack with a group, we'll put him to hold. At least that way they can gain some strength back. And a hold doesn't cost anything. Fatigue or doesn't give you initiative either, but heck, it doesn't cost any fatigue. So, these are things that you kind of can learn, okay, as you play along, and you take time to take a look at what happened during that hour, and you can begin to analyze. Hey, I'm wasting my army's fatigue. I'm tiring them out. They're ready to attack, and they don't get the opportunity to attack. And when you're the Russians, you're not going to get as many activation cubes. So you need to have, maybe 5 or 6 things you're going to do, whether it's move or whatever, and maybe only 3 attacks, but have those, or 3 divisions that are attacking, and you can attack multiple times with them. You got 3 and they all use 2 activations. That's 6 right there. So you got to think about, okay, is my planning beneficial? Right now, on either side, mine's not. I'm wasting fatigue points. If I look at the French over here, okay, everybody that had an attack attacked, okay, but over here they didn't really attack. They moved forward, but they really didn't attack. The 3rd division really attacked. Okay, these other 2, they didn't attack. All they did was move. They moved forward. And if you put them in the defense order, they can move 1 hex forward. And if you're in like a square, just move 1 hex and keep moving. Each activation you can activate them 3 times and move them 3 hexes forward in defense. So these are things that when you play, and that's the only way you really learn. You really begin to understand how to use your orders and how not to, so that you're not wasting fatigue points, because you need those fatigue points. Because if you begin to lose units or counters, troops, battalions, regiments, or batteries, then you're going to be losing cubes. And if you lose objectives, there's another. You can gain or lose to the other side cubes. Those are exchanged between the 2 armies. So that's your goal, is you want to push where you can take objectives. And that's what Davout needs to be doing over here. He needs to be really 1 division holding, stretched out, holding the Russians back, and using the terrain that's over here, the woods and the slopes and so forth, these crests, to hold the Russians at bay, while you're really using up the other 2 divisions to push up that road over there. Because let's see, this town here, Walentin, is worth 10 fatigue points that the French could gain. Okay, 10. Right now, there's nobody in either hex, so nobody's in that village right now. And then you move on up further. Okay, up here it's 10. Okay, 5. So that one over there doesn't look like it has any. Okay, but that's 15. So that's 10 right there. That's 10. That's 20. You could get 25. Gain 25. That's a lot. 25 fatigue points. that's taking a lot from your enemy. So, Eylau is, let's see here, is worth 15, which the French have that. And I guess that's what the Russians should be trying to really recapture that. That's the major one. Plus, you know, if you can capture Eylau, and then Friant, that's worth 10. So that's 25 right there. And the cemetery's worth 5. So that's 30. So all this fighting on the flanks, we really isn't getting the Russians much. Yeah, they ought to be really pushing here where Eylau's at, using their guns to pound and then, you know, assault. And just kind of hold off on the rest of the areas. So you just got to come up with what your plan is, and so that's just another strength of this game, and the use of the orders and the activation cubes and the fatigue. You know, all of that is so important. That's like I said, that's the heart and soul of this game and this system. Is that right there? So, and if you're a Napoleonic Grenard, you got to be loving this. You got to be loving this system. But because it gives you so much of what you want in a Napoleonic system. And some people like the La Bataille style counters. Okay. This is more in the style of the NBS. Okay, and to me, it's a lot easier to look out there and see what's what. I don't need those real colorful counters, because one thing is sometimes it's hard to tell who's who, you know, because of all the color clashes in the La Bataille. You don't have that here. You don't have it with Viva la Emperor either. And you know, you do have the designation of what you know, the unit belongs to. That's also on the counter. But you know, all that other color really, I think it kind of distracts from, you know, it really looks nice, okay, I'm not saying it doesn't look nice, but it distracts from play, because, you know, you're having to look so hard at what's what. And when you're, you know, over 40, you people that are over 40, you know, with bifocals, you know, I've got no lines. I got an old pair of no lines that I've had to, you know, wire together. My new glasses are lined. Okay, they're bifocals. These are no lined. Okay, there's no line in them. And this is what you have to have when you're my age to be able to see. Okay, if I'm wearing those no lines, I just had to take them off. You know, and I'm looking at this without my glasses, and I'm having to use a big magnifying glass like this one here, where it's got the light and so forth. But you know, it's easy for me to look out there, even for you as a you know, watching these videos. It's easy to say, okay, that's a cavalry unit. You know, right here, that's cavalry. Okay, and right there, I know that's infantry in column. And let's see if I got, oh, here's one. Here's an infantry in line right here. And here's the artillery unit unlimbered. and so forth. So, and to be able to look down there and say, okay, this is limbered. And the components are so high level. And this game ought to be unavailable due to the fact that all of the Napoleonic grognards out there have snatched it up. So if you don't have this game, and I'm not getting any kickback or anything, nor do I want any. So I'm just a person that plays and enjoys this and shares this so that you other players can look and see how the game's played and go from there. I'm just trying to help other players see games played. I'm not benefiting financially for promoting or saying this or saying that on these games. This is just all my opinion without any bias or any kind of bribing, I guess you might say, or anything like that. Okay. I'm just giving my honest opinion about these games. And I'm not out to badmouth anybody's game. I just telling honest opinions. No hate towards somebody's game, but this is my opinion. This is the magnificent game. Not only in the components, but the system that was created and designed. It's top notch, and anybody that is interested in Napoleonic warfare, tactical warfare, need to take a hard look at this. So, go to Sound of Drums, soundoddrumsgames.com. There's all the other links there for, X, Instagram, so forth and so on. Okay. And don't forget to go take a look at Chessex, see what they've got. Might find some dice or something else, accessories or something, or even a game that you may like. So check those out. We'll be back with the 2 o'clock turn or the 1400 if you go military. And I love the sport. My video, I guess, viewing numbers are not as high on here than they have been in some other games, and I don't know why that is. I thought there was a lot more followers that were interested in Napoleonics, but maybe not. But I do thank you for your support, for watching my videos. Don't forget, you can always comment if there's something you want to discuss about maybe the way I played a rule. We can do that. If there's something that maybe I'm doing wrong or I missed or whatever, hey, I don't get upset with criticism or questions about how I was playing. If I'm playing something incorrectly, hey, point it out so that I can do it right. I'm out here to help other players in understanding the rules and playing the game, and also just say, hey, do I want this game? I watch a few videos to see, whether or not I think that play or that system is something I'd enjoy. And I'm having a great time. And like I said, I think this would be great for multiple players. Great for like you're at a convention and you've got 5, 6 players. It would be so easy to split the armies into, sections, because hey, you got divisions already. Players could play a couple of divisions, or one player has artillery, another player has cavalry, whatever you could break it up. But if I was still teaching, this could be something that I could put out, and my class or classes could play, and wouldn't be difficult. I've done that before with other games, and they really enjoyed it, and also it just helps them to retain the information, because they can remember, hey, I played, and I got this information, and you're going to add so much history into it, into this. There's already so much history built into it, so there's a lot of different possibilities of use for this. I could see, West Point using this for tactics. Not saying that they are, but hey, if I was in West Point, and I've never been in the military, but this would be a tool that I would use to, illustrate tactics. But anyways, going on for a long time here. So just come back, see what happens in the next hour. Things are beginning to tighten up due to the army fatigue points beginning to lessen, be reduced, and when an army runs out of fatigue points, then they've lost. So, and this is just a panoramic view of the battlefield here that we have going on. So come on back, see what happens.